I am Lucy and I have the great honour of being involved with Muddy Church. I started Muddy Church about 2015-2016. I always take people back to Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, where God created this amazing earth, the sky, just by speaking. God created. And in that creation, God chose to walk with Adam and Eve in the cool of the day. And we find that story when they've gone wrong, where they've just stepped far from God, when they've done exactly what he said don't do, he still calls out to them in the cool of the day, where are you? Where are you? And that's one of the things that we hope for Muddy Church. No matter what people have done, no matter where people are at, that in that walking in the cool of the day, they might get a sense of God being present with them and calling out their name. So our resources are all available on our website, www.muddychurch.co.uk, and you're very welcome to use them. Use your own name. Some people use one or two resources. Some people use all of the resources. You use whatever you want if that's what works for you. But what I'd like to talk about more than that today is this idea of intergenerational ministry, because that's the heart of Muddy Church and one of the key elements of what I believe, both through teaching within a Bible school and teaching people about children and youth ministry and families ministry, as well as in my own life as a mum to 4 children. What is important is hearing voices and people feeling valued. And in Muddy Church, that's one of our key values, really. You can do what you like, however you like, but we ask that you listen to one another and the world around you and for God speaking. So how do we do that? We choose to do it through wondering. And you might remember, or you might be in that stage where you were around small children, 2 and 3 year olds, who ask the question, why? Why? And no matter how many great answers you think you've given them, how many factual answers you've given them, or slightly not telling you the whole story right now because it's not really appropriate on the bus at this point, that idea of exploring why. And so often we're quick to tell the children why, close the answer, shut it down, that's the end of it. And we can't wait for them to get out of that stage of asking why. And yet now, I'm continually encouraging adults, encouraging adult students, encouraging people through Muddy Church to ask again the question why. I wonder why. And in wondering, it invites us into a relationship together, into a question, into an answer. In the wondering, we all have our experiences and our opinions, and we're able to share them together. That doesn't mean there's no definitives, there's no set things. We have some key ideas that are important, but in those key elements that we believe and we hold on to, we invite people to wander together, to listen and hear a range of views and thoughts. And so that's how God can speak to us, as simple as a wander. It doesn't have to be a big planned out thing. We don't need to have a rota of 77 people, which we just haven't got capacity for anymore. We can wander with our families, we can wander with a friend, we can wander with somebody who perhaps doesn't have somebody else to wander with. The idea of intergenerational ministry is modelled throughout the Bible. As we're looking at Christmas and looking at Christmas resources, this idea is just so clear in the Christmas story. All of this mixture, this picture of people that we see in the nativity story, gathered around a baby, the centre of the picture, not even able to speak, and yet present enough to bring the presence of God to earth. The teenager, the young man, the shepherds running from their fields, the wise men travelling from afar, John and Zechariah and Elizabeth. The shepherds ran to find Jesus. And as they went away, they told everybody what they have seen, and many believed. The wise men travelled from all that distance, seeking for Jesus. Anna and Simeon worshipping, thanking God, telling people that the fulfillment of God's promise was here. How amazing an intergenerational picture. People of all ages sharing their story and sharing with others the wonder of God, and many believed. We're never too young, we're never too old. We're all a part of this great story, and we all have something important to do. So for Christmas, for the Christmas season, for looking ahead, I don't know what your plans are. I don't know what you are hoping or thinking. We have a number of different ideas and different trails that encourage people to get outside, to get involved in nature and in connecting with the things around them, to being a part of all that is there in your community. We are very honoured to have been invited to work with the Children's Society for the 3rd year, and we've produced the Christingle resources for them that you can find online. And the idea is, I love the Christingle service, that orange and the whole sensory element of the smell and the heat and just how beautiful it is. But it's amazing as you stand outside in a dusk evening, gathered around with your orange and the candle shining out in this darkness. It's an incredible opportunity and a great chance to invite people from the community to be a part of that, or to see and to join in this very special, very sacred moment. We also have a number of trails. We have the Muddy Adventure, Christmas Adventure, which takes you through the 7 characters of Christmas, and you can have these set up in any different way. Some people have them in shop windows or around an estate with different pictures in different places. Some people use them in houses. Some people use them around a park. I know some churches that just have one picture up a week leading up to Christmas and have that Christmas story in that way. They're available online. Hopefully we will have some hard copies of those. If you do struggle to print stuff out, or you prefer to have a real copy, we hope to have some of those available. We have the Jetty Tree, which is ideal for families and to give away. And it's a book, like a devotional book, to go through each day to Christmas, and encourages you to get outside and just to spend a few minutes maybe finding a pine cone or a feather or a piece of wool and putting these together as part of your Christmas celebration, and a lot less work than an elf in my experience. And new this year we have pictures of Christmas, images of Christmas. The idea of this is there are 4 different spaces, each one part of the Christmas story, but they're designed to be used in a setting where people can take a picture of themselves as part of this image. So we have an angel where you can become the Christmas angel. We have a sheep for the shepherd. We have a star for the wise men that you can point towards. And we finally have a gift, and thinking about what is the greatest gift. All simple ideas, and very, very welcome to use them, to download them, or we do have some, like I say, some hard copies. The Picture of Christmas ones especially will come with a bigger image, which might be more helpful for putting up and taking photos with, but also with a range of ideas. But just to encourage you, at this time when people are struggling financially, when people haven't got a lot of money, to enable them to come to something that is free, that's outside, that's gathering together. Maybe you want to give them some hot chocolate at the end, and some marshmallows or a pack of biscuits, and just that gathering together at the end to talk and to share and to wonder about the questions that are involved in those things. I wonder if God likes Christmas. I wonder if we make room for God at Christmas. I wonder if God is part of the story.